Team Andhra Pradesh. Team Rajasthan. Team West Bengal.
इवेंट लाइव वाला लिंक भेज
Bihar girls. Bihar girls. Only girls. Bihar boys. Girls back.
Volunteers, please maintain silence.
NSS clap goes to National Integration Camp 2026, T.M.B.U Bhagalpur, Day 2. Academic session of Day 2 is going to be held. You know the schedule, topic and the speaker who is going to be the chief speaker of this session. First of all, I would like to request with humble permission, Professor Gurunath sir. Sir, you are a renowned academician. When I hear that you are coming to Bhagalpur, I just think that we should not miss the opportunity, as we are organizing a 15 states national integration camp in T.M.B.U Bhagalpur. National integration camp is a camp where all part of the country come together, live together, think together for the betterment of the country. We have received 10 tracks from Government of India on which academic sessions are going to be held in coming days. Yesterday we have completed a one session academic, which was on Fit Bharat, Hit Bharat, lecture delivered by the Swami Siddhanand Saraswati ji from Bihar School of Yoga. In the morning today, one lecture was delivered on the Women-led Development Key to Viksit Bharat from Professor Shyama Roy ma'am, ex-Vice Chancellor Munger University. And now the third topic which we are going to cover, which is the future ready workforce for the Viksit Bharat, which is the third track given by the Government of India. We are going to have session on this. So first of all, I welcome sir on dais. Please come. on your respected seat, sir. Have your seat. We are very thankful to you, sir, for sparing time and allowing us to have you with me. Anyone which we have LED display. ये बताओ मुझे ये कैसे जाएगा उस पे टीवी पे सर के लैपटॉप में हाउ वी कैन हाँ मुझे उसको कनेक्ट करिए इससे ताकि बच्चे देख पाए. I request Balram sir also to come on the dais. Please, sir, come on the dais. You are a respected teacher of BN College, sir. You are also well-established academician. Please, sir, have seat. राजीव सर से भी रिक्वेस्ट है सर मंच पे आप स्थान ग्रहण करें. सर हो जाएगा तो लैपटॉप वहाँ ले जाना होगा. ठीक है तो सर के सर sir, first of all, आप लेके आइए बच्चे ये मोमेंटो भी ठीक है. हाँ यस ये कॉफी मत छोड़िए इसको. हाँ सर प्लीज कम ऑन द डाइस फॉर अ वाइल प्लीज सर कम. आई रिक्वेस्ट हमारे बड़े भाई सर राजीव सर से बलराम सर से अनुरोध है कि सर का स्वागत करें ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ NSS फैटर्निटी ऑफ T.M.B.U भागलपुर. सर वी वेलकम यू हियर सर प्लीज. ये मंजूसा पेंटिंग है सर और ये लोकल पेंटिंग है यहाँ का जो स्थानीय संस्कृति का हिस्सा है सर मंजूसा और उस रूप में हम लोग मैं सर का परिचय दूं तो इस राष्ट्रीय एकता शिविर में सचमुच का राष्ट्रीयता भाव राष्ट्रीय रूप अगर उनके व्यक्तित्व में समाया हुआ है तो मैं उसको आपको अगर एक्सप्लेन करूं तो हिज मदर इज फ्रॉम केरला एंड हिज फादर फ्रॉम तमिलनाडु. He is from Delhi and he is teaching in IIT कानपुर उत्तर प्रदेश. So ये है देश की एकता और विविधता. आप समझिए हम कैसे देश को अपने अंदर और देश हमारे अंदर चल रहा है उसके जीता जागता उदाहरण है सर. I am very thankful to you sir to have with you. सर आप बिना देर किए क्योंकि हमारा एकेडमिक सेशन शेड्यूल है सर. This schedule is provided by the government of India. 3 to 4 का सेशन है सर और हम Day-2 के ट्रैक 3 पे हैं. सभी से अनुरोध है ऑल वॉलंटियर्स कंटिजेंट लीडर कीप क्वाइट हैव पेशेंस लिसन केयरफुली एंड ट्राई टू गेट सम इंस्पिरेशन और इनसाइट. थैंक यू सो मच. वेलकम यू सर.
Thank you all. I am going to. I need to see what is written there because it's too small for me. What I'll do is, if it's okay. So that I can stand there and also see what is written there. That will be a bit better. Hari, mic. I hope you are able to see those of you who are sitting in the front. Hello. Those of you who are sitting in the front, this is called the speaker coming to you when I actually came ahead. Okay. So don't worry. I hope I can speak in English. Eh? You guys can understand English? But yeah, I'll also use some Hindi words because of the place I am from, and I'll also use some Tamil words because I should tell you this is about national integration and not a language war. So I start off with a poetry. Let me see if I can remember it correctly. It's called, yeah, I got it now. It's called Kalvi Karayala Karpavar Nalsila. Right, what this means is Kalvi Karayala Karpavar Nalsila. This is actually by Naladiya, who was a great poet. And what he says in this is that knowledge has no boundaries. It does not see rich, poor, it does not see caste, it does not see language, it does not see upbringing. Okay? But the days of the person who is a student are actually numbered. That is, the time is not an unlimited quantity. Basically, the fundamental is the following. Time is extremely limited, but the knowledge is infinite. So if you want to look at it and ask ourselves this reverse question using this as the proverb of our existence, how do we get a future-ready workforce when we have a timeline in front of us of 2047? And if you think 2047 was just a random number, no, it was 100 years after our independence. That's how this came. And we wanted to bring our nation to a developed nation status. And that is not just a desire, it's an ambition. And the ambition cannot be fulfilled by slogans, by government programs, by governmental spending. It has to be only possible only when everybody in all walks of life, all walks of society, all who are present here, all who are citizens of India, believe in the Constitution of India, believe in the existence of our nation, and believe that we are going to make it. And of course, it's not like you will not contribute and only I will contribute. Because remember, just like you clap for your NSS clap just now, you needed 2 hands and you need some synchrony. We need some synchrony to create this symphony, to build a human capital for Viksit Bharat. So the human capital for Viksit Bharat basically intends to transform, of course, India into a developed nation by the time its independence reaches its centenary. And that is the broad goal. But what does the development actually means? It means that tomorrow, if I am from the north and decide to settle down in Tamil Nadu, I will not be beaten up for speaking a language, eating a certain things, believing in certain things. Just like I believe somebody from Tamil Nadu will not be beaten up in the state of Bihar or Maharashtra or any other place. So you can already see it's going to be a big ask. Because you know as I speak, this is not the reality. There are language that divides us, there are communities that divide us, there's caste that divides us, religion that divides us. The divisions are actually many. If you look at these divisions, it's not like these divisions did not exist in prehistoric times. And I'll go back all the way to the days of Mahabharata and Ramayana, where education system and creation of a workforce was purely on the basis of merit and not based on caste. So everybody went to the Gurukul system, they studied, some graduated to becoming farmers or cattle rearers, some became pandits, some became specialized artisans. Eventually, over a period of time, these selections which were done based on a decision by the Gurukul system became something that was taught because you are now looking at your father or your parents in your home and copying it. So it became a family profession. If you're a goldsmith, you will do whatever your family does. If you're an ironsmith, you will do whatever your family does. If you're a potter, you will do whatever your father does. So if you go back and look at it, it's not true to say that we didn't have brilliant people from these walks and we didn't have an integration that was previously there and not there now. It was there, but now it is missing. The reason is we need to ensure that there is an economic equanimity amongst all of us. When I say economic equanimity, I mean every student, every kid now has the equal opportunity to go to the school of his choice, to study the language of his choice, irrespective of where he was born. The national education policy brought in, strangely enough, attempts to do it, but probably in a rather regimental way, which may not find favor with others. For instance, I am born of Tamilian parents who migrated to New Delhi in 1942, before pre-independence India. But I had the fortunate experience of having studied Tamil in a Tamil school, which was aided by the Tamil Nadu government through a sumptuous grant of 1 lakh rupees per year, which was huge in those days, enough to cover all the running costs. The Delhi government gave the land for the building, and people who were paying the fees, like my parents, contributed and conducted shows for buildings with which the school is now housed. But because of that experience, I could now learn my mother tongue, I could read and write it. But my kids, when they started coming out in Kanpur, and I got married when I moved to Kanpur, which is my karma bhumi where I work, they did not have the access to learning the Tamil language. Just like I am sure you will understand that a North Indian parent who now grows up in Tamil Nadu finds it very difficult to get a Hindi teacher. Okay, so there was a problem and we are often grappling with this, and I have been in some committees at the Ministry of Education, which was called the MHRD at that time, where this has been thrown to us as an open challenge how we do it, and we didn't know how to do it. We finally managed to do some test runs and some test programs. I will not talk to you about this because they were mostly academic exercises. But fortunately, an event happened in our history which changed the course of education and the way we look at things. And you all know what it is, but I would say fortunately there was a very, very unfortunate event. And that is COVID-21, which of course was called COVID-19. 19 because there was a strain, 21 because there was a year in which it came. Okay, so that closed down the schools and colleges as never before. And curriculum still had to be imparted. So came the use of internet for education. And this now gave a brilliant idea to our educational masters, in which I gave a lot of, I was also there in that advisory committee. I can tell you that we sat and said that now if you need a Tamil speaking teacher, he can still teach from Tamil Nadu. But now at an appointed hour, he comes online and teaches, and the students who are there all over India can attend their class. And therefore, they don't have to feel the need for an actual direct teacher to student interaction. This was the benefit of the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, it killed a lot of our colleagues and friends and people, relatives. We are still saddened by this, but we still use it as a learning platform. So if we have to take our economy to a 30 trillion economy from where it is right now, it is around 4.2 trillion, we need to focus on 4 pillars. The youth, which is actually you, the participants of this program, the poor who don't have access to even this program. This program, they gave you pamphlets in your school, you signed up for it and you came. You know how many schools these guys could not reach? You can't imagine. In your own district. You know how many parents wouldn't allow you to come to this remote place in Bihar? I'm sure you can't even understand it. So here is an opportunity for you that you have now obtained because of God's will. And that's the only thing I can call it. Because here you are, selected out of all those random letters that were sent, posters that were sent, messages that were sent. parents who heeded and allowed that you have not come for this workshop. So we need to take this message out to not only the youth, the poor, the women, the farmers, the general public, and we need to leverage this to about 490 million informal workers through a skilling. Why do I say skilling? Because is education really teaching you what is needed by the employer? The answer to that is no. I am an educationist, I teach in a college, in a university. I am teaching engineers, the best minds who come through the advanced JEE system. Some of you have probably written the JEE exam, and the advanced JEE exam, you know how tough it is to crack, so you can assume that the best guys come to that. But yet, what I am teaching them in the class is not preparing them for the industry or for the job market. So how do I make sure that people are now ready to graduate to the job market? So this is not without any problems, because this is something that we should fundamentally address to ensure that the current workforce gap is addressed, to make sure we meet our Viksit Bharat goals. The question is, how can we address it? I can give reams and reams of lectures, and so can our Prime Minister, but we are not going to achieve anything if there is no movement on the ground. Because it turns out only 5% of the Indian workforce has formal skills. What do formal skills mean? You'll realize it when you actually ask each one of you to write a letter, and maybe this should be an exercise given by the convener at the end of the course. Write a letter to your friend about what you have learned, and it should not be more than say 100 words or 300 words. And I can tell you, you will find there are only 2 or 3 letters which can even be read on a public stage, because you have collected your ideas coherently and you are able to now draft minutes of the meeting or experience, as it were, which you could now convey to the others. Now supposing I have to choose from you people to do journalism, how would I do it? Because only 5% of you guys are ready. The others are showing no interest. How do I skill you for this purpose? So skill management has to be there between education and industry. Industry's requirements will keep on changing. Today it will be AI, tomorrow it will be something else. Day after tomorrow it will be something else. I cannot restructure my curriculum for the industry. So what do I do as an educationist? I say you need these 5 basic skills. Of course you need mathematics. If you don't know mathematics, you can't calculate your money, you can't calculate whether the rate of interest being deposited in your account is correct, whether the salary is being correctly calculated or not. So you need to know some mathematics so that you can ascertain that the calculations are correct. Second, you need language skills. If you can't express yourself, you can't talk to people, how will people even understand what you're trying to say and try to communicate? And remember, language skills doesn't mean you now know only your mother tongue. This is a serious issue. So knowing more languages is actually an advantage. Third, after maths and social skills, you must have a personality which has empathy towards everyone. What do you mean by empathy? You don't think that somebody is having a problem and therefore it is their problem. You know it's a problem, and if you can find a solution for it, how are you going to address it? Just because some dog has bitten somebody doesn't mean that all dogs are nice. And you may be a dog lover and strongly feel against dogs, but I have to address this problem because there is somebody who has feeling the pain of having been bitten by a dog. And that is real. So feel empathy for your fellow people. Don't just dismiss them. Who are they? I will go feed the street dogs. Let them bite. They should know who they don't do anything, they will not bite. They should have done something wrong. You know how many kids have lost their life? So we need empathy. Empathy means understanding of people's difficulties. Don't just dismiss them because of your viewpoints. And the fifth most important skill that you need is that you should be willing to change if you want to do anything good. And this is where most of us are actually lacking. I'll give you an example. Supposing I have to drill a high-speed subway line between Bhagalpur and Nauguchia, which is the main railway station, so that the travel time is now reduced from the current, 40 minutes by public transport to about, say, 10 minutes, with 2 stops in between. Obviously, I have to take the tunnel through somebody's house, through somebody's fields, and he has to be displaced. And almost nobody likes to be displaced. He says, why should I do it? What is there in it for me? आप लोग benefit कर रहे हैं, what is there in it for me? You guys are benefiting, what is there in it for me? Okay. The future skills also involve AI and data analytics or smart decision making. I can tell you one thing. We have done an analysis in IIT of all incoming graduates. We asked them questions. Did you take coaching for this advanced exam? Answer can be yes or no. It cannot be I did not take it, I took only some of it. It will be yes or no question. Like that. Every year we get 7% of the candidates who lie. Okay, they lie that they have not taken coaching. And there are only 1% of the candidates who are actually not taking coaching, still they crack all the exams and come in. The question therefore is, does this statistics tell you something? Answer is yes. It tells me that the coaching centers have somehow cracked the question pattern we are giving, and therefore if you go to coaching you have a better chance of success. How do we break this if we want really the best guys to come and graduate from the program? Because this is why probably we are not having the skill upgrade among our graduates. This also comes up with the fact that you need digital fluency. Now you know all the entrance exams are done online. I expect a villager's son in remote part of Bihar to be as adept at computer skills as I expect a person who has actually seen a computer from a modern city. You guys are lucky you have seen a television set. You guys are lucky you have seen computers, you can work on it, you can work on a workstation and give an exam. There are people still in India who don't know what it is. But nevertheless, they crack the exam. Maybe if they got 2 or 3 attempts, they will probably do far superior than you. Their ranks will improve drastically. But sadly, that doesn't happen. This means that, digital fluency in the cloud, IoT, and this information technology, blockchains, cyber security for digital assets, these are now things that you get to know if you're having a computer to prevent yourself from viruses and security. You know that you should not give your SIM number to, your OTP number to somebody for saving your assets. But does everybody still know it? Because you still see people are getting scammed. So how do we ensure that there's an upskilling of people so that everybody is on the same page? There are people you'll be shocked to know who don't know that they're getting the right salary in their accounts even now. And they're working in Government of India in very high positions. I'll save that story for later. The most important thing that we need to understand is that along with all this comes a need for emotional intelligence and communication. And we should have a problem-solving, critical thinking approach to all our problems. The question is, quite often what we have is, this problem does not belong to me. So let us just ignore that. Okay, because the problem, I don't think about it, it does not exist. But the problem never runs away. It still exists. So if it has taken, let us say, 20 years to build a bridge, you should ask the question, why did it take 20 years to build? It's not like we have not built anything in a day. If it takes 20 years to build a bridge, then it should take 500 years for us to become Viksit. You don't have the time. So there has to be a citizen's participation in all the upskilling, because this adaptability has to go in with technological change, and the best way you can bring this in is through entrepreneurship and innovation mindset. If you look at the encouraging trend so far, the national employability rate, and this is government of India statistics from the latest economic survey just a day before the budget. She says that employment is 56.35%, and she says that women employability surpasses that of men. So women are more employable than men. You know, when you go and look at the statistics, there is a hidden meaning in this, and you will understand what it is in a second. If women get a job, they are less likely to leave the job and go. Men, on the other hand, they go for better pastures, and they don't think twice they have to quit a job, because they are confident of their skills and their capabilities. For instance, a woman may not leave it because it's close to her home. Doesn't matter, she may get a higher amount in a distant place. She'll say, who will go and settle there? I don't know anybody there. I don't know what kind of environment is there. A man will never think twice. I live here, I can live anywhere. That's the attitude. So if you look at the average artificial intelligence talent database, it is expected to grow to 12.5 lakhs by 2027. This number, 12.5 lakhs, is actually less than 50% of the students who are taking the board examination across India. And this is a matter of serious concern, which means somewhere down the line, though all of you think you are smart and you're looking at smartphones, you're really not teaching people or teaching each other digital knowledge which is necessary for the next generation. If you have a problem with your space on the phone, you don't know how to handle it. You ask somebody, if somebody tells you, you do it, otherwise you don't even want to find out, even though that information exists. And maybe by asking the right questions in Google or in AI, I could get those answers, how to delete and create space in my mobile phone. And on top of it, Government of India has started an upgradation scale where it's called skill development. And apparently only 3.37 lakhs have completed this. These are the different certification levels. And I really don't see why this should be an encouraging trend. Because this is not, if I add the two things up, 12.5 by 3.3, it still comes to 15, it is still half. So half the people who are going through board exams are still not digital ready for a Viksit Bharat. And if that doesn't worry you today now, I don't know what will. And that is not my statistics, it is Government of India statistics. So, what is the role that each one of us has to play? And I will start with the academics role, because I come from an academic institution. I have to somehow align the training with the real job market trends. But as I told you, the job market trends will keep changing. Today it will be banking sector, tomorrow it will be agriculture sector, third day it will be pharmacological sector, fourth day it will be AI. But I have to bring a set of people who can go across everybody. And I have to provide appropriate mentoring. If the area is new, how do I provide mentoring? AI was not there when I was studying. But if I now have to use AI in my field of chemistry and chemical education, how am I going to be trained in it if I don't know what it means? Which means that for Viksit Bharat, you not only need advanced programs to upskill students, you also need to upskill the teachers in a big way. So next time you get a a mail saying that you can come and attend a workshop and your teachers speak here. Please don't think twice to why you cannot go. Because if you don't participate, how are you going to transfer to the next generation? So that is going to be our problem. And therefore, we need to have a support, emotional and consultative. So if a kid is going there, a parent willingly allows. If the mother is going there, the kid gives the confidence that I can manage for the 2 days you are going there at night. Don't worry, don't get that skill. Because it's only by that we can actually start building a consensus of what we need to know to chalk out a plan towards upskilling or basic part. So if you look at the growth strategy that has actually been proposed in the document, it basically says we need to bring regional disparities to equitable development. A lot of you who are from the south would have noticed that the roads in Bihar are still very bad. But if you are now from Uttar Pradesh, like me, you will say the roads in Bihar are bad. They were like this in 2000. Now they are not like this, they are more like Delhi. Correct. So if Kanpur and UP can undergo this transformation, which is just next door, I see no reason why UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Assam, the whole of India can undergo this transformation. Because once you have better infrastructure and better roads, you will naturally have better communication and better travel speeds, travel times. And time is something that we need to save if we want to reach that goal by 2047. And for that we need this. So don't think everybody is going to become an IAS officer. Don't think everybody is going to become a teacher. Don't think everybody is going to become a doctor or an engineer or whatever. You guys are going to become whatever you become, but try to be the best at it and make sure that you're always currently updated with your knowledge. And be accommodating of the process for everybody else, because it's a learning experience not just for you, but for everybody around you. And by that kind of an environment, you will realize you are creating a microcosm of similar people who are now going to take participations and give you solutions where you least expect it. And I can give you a fine example of one such thing that has happened in research. Okay, you all know, and this is something that is from India's ISRO. You all know previously when satellites were launched, only one satellite used to be launched per rocket. India now launches something like 110. Question was, why do I need to launch each time a rocket to launch a satellite? The current world record held by India is 135 satellites launched in one rocket launch or something like that. You can go and check, it could be wrong, maybe I know. It's about 110 last time I looked at it. The point is, this kind of requires out-of-the-box thinking. It is not going to be given by the Western powers or the Eastern powers or advanced democracies. This is something we need because we are optimizing things here. And we need to bring this out. So, we need to support each other when we are working on this. And we need to integrate this continuous upskilling all the time and have a flexible reskilling at the same time to allow for change of skills. What do I mean by that? Let us say tomorrow you find a job in a bank, and after 2 years you don't really feel you are the person behind the window. Allow for a change of this. You all know previously you could never decide to do medicine. Once you came out of 12th and got into a college, let us say you finish your BSc. Now the new education policy allows you to go back to medical education if you are still interested. So if you ask me, the programs are there, but to make it successful lies in all our hands. We should not say, why is this 30-year-old man giving JEE? Or why is this 27-year-old man trying to become a doctor? By the time he learns something, he'll be 40. We should understand that he felt a need to read and understand and upskill himself, and we should be supportive of his cost. This brings back to education, collaboration with government, industry and all of us, and an outcome-based skilling with quality assurance. What the outcome-based skilling is that everybody now expects a job once you have finished your degree. My problem is, why do you guys want to do a job? Start a company, start a business, give employment to people. You will earn more than what you are capable of to do a job. At the same time, you will be providing employment to several others. And at the same time, enable upskilling of those people, even if it's a small shop. So there has to be an equal focus on urban and rural populations in this. And that means that don't think all of you after studying are going to settle down in one of the big cities of India. You may have to settle down in a smaller village. You may have to settle down in a more modest town. But try to get that town with all the facilities, because these days Amazon and Flipkart deliver whatever you want all over India. So it is no longer necessary for you to go to big marketplaces in big cities to buy your stuff. You can order it from the comfort of your home and you can get it delivered to your desk. And that is actually a technology-driven affordable solution. These days, my wife doesn't order anything on the internet. She uses some app called Blinkit and it comes before I blink my eyes in 10 minutes. Now I don't have to walk to the shop every time. That has a consequence. I do less exercise. Okay. I don't go to the shop. I do less exercise. I don't know if that is necessarily correct. But I tell you, that has given employment to lots of people. And now, as long as I order more than 300 rupees, the delivery is free. And we always have items written on the refrigerator door, so that if we are not making it 300, we add one of them and become 300 and we get a free delivery. So, as old couples, I'm 60 and my wife is 58, living together, the kids are all grown up and gone elsewhere, we have actually embraced technology in a very different way. But our responsibility to participate on Viksit Bharat and our commitment to this goal remains the same. And there has to be an equal focus on all sectors. So when I retire for another 6 years from now, I'm definitely not settling down in all the major cities or even in probably a B-grade city. Okay. I'm probably going to settle down in a very, very small town where people know each other personally. And maybe Blinkit has been made there. Okay. Because I know that town will probably make use of my skills better than, let us say, I start a Super 30 program in Bhagalpur. Okay? And that is the kind of approach you need to have a technology-driven affordable solution. So with that, I kind of come to the end of my talk. Basically, how do we get a future-ready workforce? We can't get a future-ready workforce if we don't work. And that is the biggest message I want to give. And time, believe it or not, is limited. Karpava Nalsida means the days are limited. Whether you like it or not, it is limited. You don't have infinite time to learn everything. Focus, pick and choose. Skill yourself to become not the better, but the best in what it is. And I tell you, you'll never go out of fashion. You'll never go out of fashion. Sachin Tendulkar will never retire. Okay? But I'm sure if we had to form a cricket team with him in the audience, and one of you was the captain, you would choose him first. Rather than any one of us who probably have more one-day runs in the backyard here. You're never going to choose them because you know why. And that's exactly what I'm trying to drive in this small speech. And this is because we are not building a nation. We are building a human asset, which is a capital. Our strength is not what we own, like a cell phone or a computer
It is actually the workforce we have created and the citizens of India. That is our strength. And if we do not skill them up properly and take everybody with us, we are going to have a serious issue and probably miss the deadline of 2047, which I would not like. I am probably, I don't know, I'll be what, 80 plus years old at that time. I may or may not be alive, but I would definitely like to see a fully developed India in my lifetime if possible. And I pray that you all help us in this goal and we achieve it not in 2047, but say 5 years before the deadline. So that like our $1 trillion economy, which has now become a thing of the past. Even Narendra Modi government came to power, he said they were going to make a $1 trillion economy. A lot of us laughed. And he said we made digital India payments secure and the BHIM as an app. The former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, there is a recorded statement of him in Parliament. He actually laughed. How are you going to do it? There is no internet in India. That is a reality. But it has not been achieved by one man. It has been achieved because the workforce behind him has cooperated. So just imagine if all of us cooperate and think not about, forget about differences for a thing, for a small while. Focus on the goal and build and cherish together. And in that respect, I would like you all to honor this commitment by taking the solemn pledge to ensure that you upskill all the others, so you will help people irrespective of their caste, creed and religion. And of course, you will ensure that India becomes completely developed much before 2047. Thank you for your kind attention. Any questions you have, please welcome to ask me and others. Yeah, please come. I can't hear you from that far. Mic to mic is it?
Greetings to you, sir. Sir, my concern is all about, as I've seen your slide, every word, every slide which contains the word job and lack of job contains the word AI, which directly means that AI means the lack of job. And also, you have heard about the mold book AI, which works on the dead internet theory, which is a basically AI chatbot talking to AI, making decisions there, and this all is a different world run by AI, which is constantly ruining the critical thinking skills of humans. So my concern is all about this. If AI have reached this far, then how will we expect ourselves to go ahead of this?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. We have washing machines to wash our clothes, irons to iron them out, but they don't tell us what to choose every day to wear. And that's exactly what we have to think about AI now. AI is like an instrument which can help us faster decision-making processes by giving us all the alternatives which we are not able to compute. If AI is used in a chess game, there are billions of combinations based on 7 moves that have been made. You give it 7 moves and then ask what are the possible combinations that can be played out. You can list out all the possible combinations in the next step. Depending on whether you want white to win after 100 moves or black to win after 200 moves. It will give you that. You can give that to AI. And it will just give you all the first 5 moves it will give you. Once you go into that, the decision is no matter how you play, is going to be in case of only one or the other. So basically what the AI is to be used for is for computing the possibilities which now are in front of you and showing what the consequences are. But the decision making, if I now leave it to AI, I'll give you an example. Supposing you or anybody else for that matter was looking for a marriage partner, they had the requirements written up. Based on the requirements, AI would choose something and give you. But you know what? You may not like the choice. So you can't make AI make the choices for you. You have to make AI do the job for you so that it gives you the choices. And then you decide based on your judgment what it is. Okay? And that becomes very critical. In fact, I am given to understand from by talking to various people that AI has been extensively used in the last 2 years in all the wars that are happening all over the world. Okay? The question is, has it actually changed the outcome of any of the wars? I wouldn't know that. Okay, and I am not sure about that. Of course, it could have told them what decisions to take, but I don't think it has changed the outcome of the war. It could have delayed the outcome. Like, I'll give you an example of Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine had all the Western powers backing it, so they had the best AI, you would say. Russia had China backing it, so it also had its AI. Now it is AI versus AI. And there is still a draw. But you know who's winning, because if you had told me it is Russia versus Ukraine, who would win? Probably all of us would have picked Russia because there's been a superpower, it's a good memory, military, it has very good military hardware and software, so it's likely to be good. And why do we say it has good military hardware and software? Because we have been buying it and we have been testing them in the fields and we know they perform. So we are confident of it. And that's exactly the point. So AI is for making the choices, to compute the choices. Because if you start computing the choices in your brain, it is highly possible you miss out 20 of them. But AI is unlikely to miss because it's a calculating machine. So it's like a calculator. It calculates based on the data you give it. If you have ignored any data because you thought it was insignificant, AI is going to affect the calculations and therefore it's going to affect your choices. And this is a reality. The sooner you realize it, you will realize AI is never going to take away any of our jobs. It's only going to make our decision making faster. That's all.
Another question. Sir, as you know, the major concern of India is employment. And
Is it?
employment.
Okay.
And AI is almost have taken all the jobs in India. We people have become so lazy that we stopped working, our minds have stopped working, and we just put our phones and put small questions to even AI. So, how will we manage this? And why we have made AI reach this far if we really want to work so well?
See, it's interesting you should ask this. There's a YouTube video by Carl Sagan. I alluded to this in my earlier speech given today, and that's called the Blue Planet. So when the Voyager spacecraft was leaving the solar system, command was given from the NASA center to the spacecraft to turn its camera towards the Earth to take its picture for the last time as it was leaving our galaxy. And it did that, and it sent the photograph, which took us almost a week plus to reach us, and they developed it. When they developed that photograph, I don't have internet connection, otherwise I will show you here. It's actually just like the sunlight is coming through the window, and you can see that rays of light from dust particles. In that one, Earth is but a speck of dust. But the only thing is that it's blue in color. And that's been artificially colored, by the way. It's not originally blue, black and white over here. That prompted Carl Sagan to say that we are a speck in the cosmic dust. And here we are saying that I will infringe upon this part of the humanity from this part of the humanity in that same cosmic dust. We are a speck in the cosmic dust. We are so small. Do we have another home other than Earth? No. Simply we fighting. In fact, we fight in the home, forget about nations. We fight with each other. The brothers who are fighting over the same piece of land. But this is the only land we have got. Because we can't stay with each other. So the problem I am trying to tell you here is, decisions for employments are somewhat like that, because people who go for employments are those who don't want the responsibility of a growth of a business, they want rather a steady income. Okay. Now you have to decide whether you want a steady income or do something else. Go and read about Narayan Murthy's great Infosys project. His wife was working and supporting him for a long time. At that time, Narayan Murthy used to just spend more than about 14-15 hours, maybe take care of the home by cooking the food and doing all the things from home. And eventually he built this empire, because of which his wife could stop working and now she is sitting over at 17,000 crores or something like that. I don't know if that is a kind of a risk you would be willing to take or I would be willing to take if you are going after jobs. Narayan Murthy clearly said he's not going to do a job. He was fortunate he had a wife who told him, go ahead. You don't have to worry. I will manage the house without income even if something happens. Give it a honest shot. How many of us are willing to take that risk? And remember, Narayan Murthy's Infosys is not just employing him, it is actually given food to a lot of people. And each of these guys who is now at Infosys somewhere or the other, because he's so busy, he's employing a huge workforce in his house. Cooks, cleaners. There's a secondary employment, tertiary employment. So don't think that creation of Infosys only made Narayan Murthy rich. Don't look at it like that, that's the flaw. Okay? So once you realize that, then you realize, okay, I understand, if all of us now become like that, we won't have people to do menial jobs. I agree, then we'll have the Bangladeshis and others coming. Okay, we have no choice because they are the only ones who are willing to do construction work in Bombay and Delhi. Almost all the construction workers are from that place. But that is not the case at other places because you are not willing to pay the high cost to some people. So there are a lot of economics. So just imagine, all these things goes away and now you're only looking at Vikasit Bharat and you want to make sure everybody is not enabled. Then I have to ask you a question, are we having enough buildings right now or do we need to keep building more for houses? I mean, there are people with 20 different houses, 7 different houses, 5 different cars. Okay, are you driving all of them every day? If you're not driving, why even waste it? Give it away to somebody who needs it. Right? But that mindset has to come in. This is what I meant. So you have to understand what you need and what is your goal, and you have to understand that the goal has to be aligned with the national goal. The national goal can only be achieved if all of us try to bring a cohesive energy to uplift the nation. It cannot be done by me alone, it cannot be done by you alone, it cannot be done by even if all of us in this room manage it together. Because the nation is not what we are here. We have 1.5 billion people outside. We are not even a tiny fraction of what we are outside. So everybody has to be told, and who are the ambassadors for it? You who have attended this workshop are the ambassadors. You have to tell, look, this is the vision we want to achieve. We have to do this. This is what we have to do. Therefore, we have to do this. And this is where the synergy of minds comes in. Any other questions?
Last one question, please.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. So myself Shubham Bardhan from West Bengal. So, sir, if I see the future, so AI will be eating our jobs like monster. So I have seen your slide and you have mentioned that we should integrate unskilled workers in the category of skilled workers by providing them skillful lessons. So don't you think that that will create a gap in the employment market of unskilled workers already where we are having a employment gap because of AI?
So your solution is to have inequality in the society, to make sure we have unskilled laborers breaking bricks for 550 rupees a day. And that is not a possible viable solution for a Viksit Bharat. Because Viksit Bharat is when all the Indian citizens have access to same healthcare, same education, same quality of life. It is another thing, like you may have 5 servants in your house, I may have none. That is my personal choice, that is your personal choice. But it doesn't mean that I should only be a worker in somebody's house. I should only eat what is left over by them for me to take home. And I will never be able to reach that kind of affluence ever in my life, even if 7 generations work with you for that cost. You won't even be able to buy your own house. You ask me, would any of the guys who is building the houses ever going to build his own house? I doubt it. If he never got into the Pradhan Mantri Yojana, He's never going to build his house. That's the reality. And that is the asymmetry we are trying to remove. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, this is going to take a long time. You think everybody in your class is so brilliant that everybody scores 100 out of 100 in all the subjects, so we have a problem deciding whether everybody is going to be a doctor or an engineer? No. You know, there's a gradation. So the system will take care of it. All we are making sure is we are giving equal opportunity to all. So that irrespective of your caste, creed, economic ability, you are being given the same opportunity like they are being given. So, for instance, you know about JE, you know about this Dixit Bharat Yojana, you came here. Just go and ask the neighboring school, as an example, after you get back, and you can get in touch with these people who are organizing this. Did they receive this and what did they do? Some lot of them did not put it in the notice board, did not even tell the school children. I know there are college children. I know this. They don't get that. Letters keep on coming, but they don't even circulate it so that others can come. That is why we always have a very small number. And suddenly you will find, I'm sure there are at least 2 people from the same school. Are they there? 2 guys from the same school or only 1 guy from each school? Are there any 2 guys in the audience who are from the same college? You can raise your hand, see, so many. So this college did a very good job and they allowed everybody. But I can tell you there are lots of colleges which never made here from the same towns. But the information didn't go to them. And that is exactly the asymmetry we need to remove to get a future ready workforce. Because information transmission should reach everybody. You should have the same access to internet as the guy who's lifting the brick. It's another thing he's using it for gambling and you're using it for studies. But at least it's available, he's doing something. Then it's a different problem, we'll treat it differently. But अभी उसको देना ही नहीं है. I need a brick lifter. तो मैं इसको क्यों पढ़ाऊंगा? That is not a solution. It is actually going to face a very serious asymmetry, and we are going to have a problem in our hands. Economic upheaval will come only if you don't bring an upgradation in the life of everybody. See, in Delhi, when the metro was being built, and I'm giving you the Delhi example because I'm from that town, a lot of buildings were broken and a lot of places they were doing this digging underground and all that. And people had to give up their houses and go and all that. If people had not moved out, the metro would have been built. So we need to adapt and change and accept the change. If we are going to be obstinate, no, you build, then you know in Madhya Pradesh they built a bridge like this. You will be building bridges like that rather than the shortest route. And that will look very odd. Okay, it's there on the internet, a right-handed bridge you put, it goes at right angles. You never see a right-angled bridge, go to Bhopal, it is there. It turns at right angles. The bridge turns at right angles. So it goes straight. It will easily go on as a diagonal. But it goes at the right angle. Okay. And those kind of things may be architectural marvels, but in a society in the long run, I don't know if they're going to lead to a stable society, which is an advanced society, which is a democratic society, which is a society which gives justice to all, ensures that women are not oppressed, that they are treated fairly, it ensures that the poor are not treated unfairly. And that is a society we need to go towards.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Just wait, I will give you back to class. Don't worry.
So our first responsibility is to remove the accidental information, give the proper information to all the people. And the second step is then we think about the optimum utilization of resources.
Yeah, so you see, I tell you one thing, you will understand it in a minute. When you are a student, let us assume you are the brightest student in your class, possibly two, maybe not two. Let us say you made notes for your class lectures. The question was, were you sharing those lectures with your other students? The answer was no, because you thought there was a competition and they would score more than you. Now, if you are going to be under that mentality, you might have gotten those notes because of some book. Everybody did not have that opportunity. But because you made sure that the education was not equal, you started creating asymmetry, which eventually landed up the way it did. But if this asymmetry is now removed, you will find that maybe we had a Ramanujan in our midst, who we have actually failed to discover. And that is why we need a Viksit Bharat. We have to prove to the world that this billion-dollar population is not a fluke. We have the capital of intelligence in it to build the next generation, whatever you need, in a society, armaments, economy, workforce, educational system, okay, buildings, you name it. India can and will do it in a sustainable way which takes everybody along. We will be able to make sure that everybody gets food, no matter what. We'll never have a famine again. Never. That's our goal for Viksit Bharat. And that cannot happen that, no, I'm going to eat myself, I'm not going to eat anybody. That attitude itself is wrong. So Viksit Bharat is when all of us do our little bits. But now suddenly this becomes like a resonance together. So now suddenly this India from 4.5 or 5 trillion economy has suddenly become 30 trillion. Okay. That's the idea. And it's a wishful thinking, yes. But who says we can't dream?
Sir, one more opinion from you, sir. In one side, we are passing through a phase where India had demographic dividend, and our working population is very high now. And if we go through the quality of employment, most of the people still working in the casual labor form. So, and our target is, and we are very optimistic, that we reach Viksit Bharat by 2047. So in this regard, but the situation is paradoxical. So what is your opinion, sir?
I tell you, this is a catch-22 situation. What is a catch-22 situation is that you don't want to spend, but you want a Western type society. So in Western society, and I was in US, I used to pay something like $50 a month to get my garbage. And my garbage had to be sorted out. Vegetable trash in one, cardboards in one, bottles in one. Okay, different colored labels. And only weekly once they will come and take it. And I would have to go and take it outside my door and keep it. And after the truck has gone, I have to bring it back and keep it inside my house. And for doing all this, I am paying $50 a month. Okay, and it's getting taxed. Now just ask how much are we paying to a workforce which is helping us clean our house. Have you ever thought of raising, when was the last time you thought of raising the salaries of your workforce at home? People will come for washing their utensils. Your salary went up. Pay commission 4, pay commission 5, pay commission 6, and now 7. It's a बढ़ता जाना चाहिए. So this attitude is what is defeating the purpose. So now if he's getting 200 rupees, remember the milk which was 2 rupees a kg, the liter has now become 27 rupees a half liter. So costs have gone up for them also. But are we really incorporating that in the casual labor sector? And who comes for the casual labor sector? Basically people who either don't want to say why they are doing it, or people who have no skills and no jobs. So this asymmetry cannot be worked out like that because it comes at a cost for us. Supposing my bill will go up, I should think twice. Okay. At the same time, there are these agencies which come and clean. In Delhi, there is this, just like Blinkit, there is something urban plan, right? So those guys charge some 5,000 rupees. If I call them 3 times or 4 times a month, every week, my house is big and transparent. I don't need a person, but that would be 10,000 rupees. Over that, if I put this 200 rupee lady, she doesn't even do her job because she says there is no point in it. So I can't keep over. So I have a huge mental complicated problem. So I want to uplift somebody. I have to concentrate on upliftment only through education and arts. I cannot do anything else. And that upskilling doesn't mean I forget my own education. You know, I am receiving a base commission 7 enhanced salary. Let me कुछ बड़ा नहीं होगा, ये नहीं हो सकता। उनका भी बड़ा हर साल जैसे आपको इंक्रीमेंट मिलता है उनको भी इंक्रीमेंट, you will find it is not sustainable. You don't like it. Okay, and this is something that has repercussions around the land. And a lot of these things along with other things are creating problems. But hopefully, if all of us feel we have to have a developed nation, we will ensure that we do something right. Like nobody thought UPI would become such a big thing, digital payments would become such a big thing, but it did become a real thing in front of us. In our lifetime, it is a reality. Of course, there are frauds, but it is a reality. हो रहा है, ये भी होगा. But we need to believe in it, and we need to let people who believe in it function. If I am going to oppose them, put their name at every corner, make sure that it is never done. Like I make sure there is no internet line. Because I don't think it was digital payment. Digital payment can never become a real phone because I am not allowed any internet lines. So I have to allow the digging to go on for the internet lines. For this goal to be achieved, many goals होते रहते हैं, क्या करते हैं, diversion यहाँ से वहाँ से. I can give you lots of examples. But the point is, all of us should be on the same page. If we believe in India as a nation, which I am sure all of us do, then we have to take a promise to make sure that we will work constructively towards this goal of Viksit 2047. And that is the pledge we should go with. Thank you very much. Now you guys can clap.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Viksit Bharat is not only a dream, not only a desire, but an ambition. Ambition of all 1.4 billion population. So, हम लोग सभी लोगों का ये लक्ष्य है कि हम भारत को एक विकसित भारत के रूप में 2047 में कम से कम वो पीढ़ी जो आज यहाँ पे मौजूद है आ सके. हम सभी राष्ट्रीय सेवा योजना के स्वयंसेवक हैं और हम जानते हैं कि राष्ट्रीय सेवा योजना में हमारा ध्येय वाक्य है नॉट मी बट यू. और मुझे लगता है कि यही वह एकमात्र मंत्र है जिसमें हम स्वयं से पहले समाज को, स्वार्थ से पहले परार्थ को, सेल्फ से पहले अदर को रख के हम अपने भारत को एक विकसित भारत के रूप में साकारित होते हुए देख पाएंगे. और जब हम नॉट मी बट यू से इंस्पिरेशन लेते हैं और दूसरी तरफ अपने आदर्श के रूप में स्वामी विवेकानंद जी को रखते हैं, तो विवेकानंद जी का वह कथन, उठो जागो और तब तक मत रुको जब तक आपके लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति ना हो जाए. और हम सबका एकमात्र लक्ष्य है विकसित भारत 2047 है. आई एम ए स्टूडेंट ऑफ फिलोसफी सर. वी हैव अ philosopher who say that every station has its own duty. One station, one duty. Means जो जहां है उसके अपने कर्तव्य हैं. If you are a student, you have your own duty. Sir is a professor, he has its own duty. Sir is regional director, he has its own duty. Every station has its own duty. And if you are going to fulfill your own duty, the country will become the dutiful and country will become empowered and country will become the Viksit Bharat. यही मंत्र है, उठो जागो और तब तक मत रुको जब तक आपको आपके लक्ष्य न हो जाए. और हम सबको उठना है, जागना है और चेतन मन से कर्तव्य पथ पे बढ़कर भारत को विकसित भारत में बदलना है. इसी प्रेरणा के साथ हमने एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत, युवा भारत, सशक्त भारत और विकसित भारत की थीम पे ये राष्ट्रीय एकता शिविर युवा मामले खेल मंत्रालय भारत सरकार द्वारा NSS निदेशालय बिहार झारखंड के द्वारा संचालित है. NSS T.M.B.U में इस अवसर पे बिहार और झारखंड के निदेशालय कि हमारे निदेशक महोदय मंच पे मौजूद हैं। सर गुरुनाथ सर बहुत बड़े साइंटिस्ट भी हैं और संयोग सर हम सबके बच्चों का सौभाग्य कि इनका मार्गदर्शन सबको मिला। सर आज केमिस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट में टी.एम.B.U में एक लेक्चर था, हमारी कलीग हैं, मैंने उनसे अनुरोध किया, उनके माध्यम से सर से अनुरोध किया और सर ने अपना समय दिया। हम बहुत बहुत आभारी हैं सर आपके NSS परिवार की ओर से, NSS निदेशालय की ओर से। एक बार जोरदार तालियों से सर का स्वागत करें। NSS क्लैप गोज टू। Thank you, sir. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Or now I request Regional Director, sir, to give him a memento of N.I.C. Please come, sir. माइक लेके अराउंड माइक ले लीजिए। हाँ जी। सब लोगों से आंख बंद कराइए और सबको कहिए अपने ड्रेस का कलर बताने के लिए। आंख बंद कराइए और पूरे ड्रेस का कलर बताइए।
Volunteers, please keep quiet. Maintain discipline.
Yeah, good evening everyone. Myself Dr. B.HAGALPUR. I am the contingent leader from Andhra Pradesh. So I need, what is the symbol of NSS? Can anyone? Yes.
फिर से स्टार्ट कर नहीं
Okay.
ले लिया ठीक हो गया
Still. How many? Okay. Then still complete picture of, yeah.
The color, sir, red
Okay.
is a sign of energy, and we are NSS volunteer. And
लॉक कर
लगभग सर मैंने अभी तक NSS में रह करके 8 बार ब्लड डोनेशन किया हुआ है।
Very
तो
good.
वो एक मेरे सेंस से कहेंगे तो मैं ब्लड डोनेशन का एक प्रतीक मानता हूँ कि वो रेड कलर जो है उससे मैंने ब्लड डोनेशन का एक सिंबल माना है। बाकी अगर ब्लू कलर है तो जाहिर सी बात है, ओशन है हमारा, देश है हमारा, तो उस चीज को मैं लेकर के चलता हूँ। और सिंपल सी बात कहूँ तो उसको देख करके फर्स्ट अगर थॉट आता है तो सन टेम्पल को नाम का ही आता है सर।
Okay.
यस सर।
Another person ready to answer. Yes. Hello. Yeah.
Sir, our NSS symbol has been taken from Wheel of Sun Temple at Kolar.
Okay.
It has 8 spokes,
Okay.
which means 8 pairs, we call in Hindi. That means we volunteers will work 8 pairs. That means like जैसे सर हम लोग जैसे हिंदी में बोलते हैं 8 पहर हम लोग काम करते हैं।
Okay.
दिन रात जैसे एक दिन का हम लोग का 8 पहर डिवाइडेड था पहले के टाइम पर, तो उस हिसाब से पहले के टाइम पर जैसे 8 पहर था तो उसी हिसाब से हम लोग वॉलंटियर्स भी 8 पहर नॉन स्टॉप काम करते हैं विद आवर फुल ऑफ एनर्जी।
Okay.
And the color denotes, first of all, blue. Blue color denotes the cosmos, which means we, the NSS volunteers, are a very small part of this cosmos, this universe.
Yes.
Red color denotes the energy,
Yes.
the empowerment, and the activeness of all the NSS volunteers. It denotes that we NSS volunteers always work with our complete energy and dedication.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Big round of applause. Next, one more is ready to answer. I can expect different.
सर मैं उत्तर प्रदेश टीम से हूँ।
Okay.
सर इसमें इस सिंबल में सर
A small favor. Better to speak English so I can effectively understand because I am from Andhra Pradesh. Okay, I will try to understand. Okay, carry on. Carry on.
सर इसमें 8 तीलियां जो हैं वो सूर्य के कोणार्क के सूर्य मंदिर से ली गई हैं, जो 8 प्रहर को दर्शाती हैं और बताती हैं कि 24 घंटे एनएसएस वॉलंटियर जो हैं हमेशा अपने देश के प्रति कार्यरत रहेंगे, देश सेवा में लगे रहेंगे। और रेड कलर जो है वो एनर्जी को दर्शाता है, ब्लू जो है वो कॉस्मोस को दर्शाता है और उसमें बताता है कि हम एनएसएस वॉलंटियर हैं जो बहुत छोटे से पार्ट हैं और हमेशा इसमें रचे बसे रहेंगे।
ठीक है, धन्यवाद। Now one more question.
जय हिंद सर,
मैं मध्य प्रदेश से मनीष सिसोदिया सर।
ओके।
सबने सर जो बेच के बारे में बताया डिफरेंट सब ठीक है, बट जो इस बेच में 3 रंग लिए गए हैं किसी ने इनके बारे में नहीं बताया सर। तो इनके बारे में बताना चाहता हूँ सर कि जो हमारे एनएसएस बेच में 3 रंग है, इसमें जो पहला रंग है सर कि एनएसएस वॉलंटियर में जो उत्साह होता है उसको दर्शाता है सर कि एनएसएस वॉलंटियर अपने कार्य को लेकर उत्साह से हमेशा आठों पहर तत्पर रहता है सर। इसमें सर दूसरा रंग जो है शांति का प्रतीक है कि एनएसएस का जो एक वॉलंटियर होता है वो हमेशा अपने आसपास शांति का माहौल बनाए रखने के लिए हमेशा तत्पर रहता है। तीसरा सर जिसमें रंग दर्शा रहा है ब्लू रंग, ये सर अपने ब्रह्मांड को इसको दर्शाता है सर।
वेरी गुड, सिट One more question. I think so many of your students have donated blood in your respective organizations. We are giving free of cost blood to the needy persons, maybe on the emergency basis, or maybe if they stored blood, we give to the respective Indian IRCS, Indian Red Cross Society, or government organizations or private organizations. We are giving blood free of cost. Now, the most of the organizations like Red Cross, they are giving blood free of cost to the thalassemia patients. Can anybody tell why government is giving free of cost to thalassemia patients? And if both thalassemia patients gets married, what happens? If one is thalassemia, another is a normal one, then what might be the changes that may come to their children? Can anybody tell? Yes, very good. Come on.
मैं सुमित कुमार बिहार टीम से। थैलेसीमिया पेशेंट को ब्लड इसलिए सरकार फ्री देती है क्योंकि थैलेसीमिया बच्चे का जो जन्म होता है उनके माता और पिता दोनों को जो है थैलेसीमिया माइनर अगर आपस में शादी करते हैं तो बच्चे का जो भी बच्चा होगा मोर देन 50% चांसेस रहता है कि उनका बच्चा थैलेसीमिक ही होगा। लेकिन अगर प्रेगनेंसी के दौरान अगर 6 महीने 5 दिन के बाद अगर टेस्ट करवा ले तो उनका बच्चा थैलेसीमिया नहीं के बराबर होने का चांसेस रहता है। और चूंकि ब्लड डोनेशन के लिए जो है कोई भी मेल जो है साल में 4 बार और फीमेल जो है 3 बार डोनेट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन थैलेसीमिया बच्चे के जो माता पिता हैं वो वर्ष में मात्र ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 2 बार ही ब्लड डोनेट कर सकते हैं। इसलिए राज्य की सरकार ने जो है ब्लड डोनेशन के लिए उन लोगों को 1 वर्ष में ही तो नियम अगर कहा जाए तो 10 ब्लड उनको फ्री है और हर कैंप में उनको सहयोग करने के लिए कहा जाता है। लेकिन अगर बच्चे का अगर हेमोग्लोबिन 6 से नीचे चला जाता है तो हमेशा उनको ब्लड चढ़ाने का नौबत आता है। हालांकि अभी जो बेल्लौर के जो डॉक्टर हैं डॉक्टर अविनाश भट्ट, सबसे ज़्यादा बोन मैरो वो उन्होंने किया है पूरे इस कॉन्टेंट में, तो उनका कहना है कि 1 ग्राम से अगर कम हेमोग्लोबिन रखना, चूँकि जिस प्रकार हम लोग गाड़ी में पेट्रोल भरा के चलते हैं तो रिजर्व भी एक होता है, तो रिजर्व में हमेशा नहीं चलना चाहिए। 8 हेमोग्लोबिन से अगर कम होता है तो उसको मेंटेन करने के लिए ब्लड जो है 15 से 20 दिन में उसको चढ़ाने की जरूरत पड़ती है।
वेरी गुड।
Good evening, sir. Myself Aditya Jha. First of all, sir, there is 2 types of thalassemia. One is thalassemia minor and another one is thalassemia major. So, if a thalassemia minor patient marries a thalassemia minor patient female, then the kid born will be thalassemia major. So, if a patient is thalassemia major, so there are 2 possibilities, sir. First, the kid will be unfortunately he will be dead before his birth because when there is a patient who is thalassemia major, the blood is very much depurified. I repeat, depurified. So in every 2 weeks, the whole body's blood is changed. So that is a very rare case. First of all, not a rare case. I'm sorry. That is a very hectic process. So I think so, sir. The child is there is a very less chance of his birth surviving. And sir, if a person is thalassemia minor, so he can improve his blood level, hemoglobin level by eating beetroots and many vitamin B12 tablets, iron folic acid tablets, he can also, because sir, I am also thalassemia minor patient. My sister is also thalassemia minor patient. So we all know we have gone through the stages. So I think so. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Very good round of applause. Because this is a very important information everyone has to know. Next. Conservation of water. Yes, anyone. Conservation of the water. Yes, last.
Conservation of water is a concept of sustainable development, which means to save water and efficiently use it so that our future generation can also use it efficiently.
Very good. Yes.
So conservation of water can be done in many ways. First of all, we have all learned that is rainwater harvesting. We can save the rainwater by applying many utensils in our backyard or courtyard. First, and sir, second thing, the basic things, we should not waste water. We should not leave the tap open while doing anything, any of the chorus we do in our daily lives. Especially the NSS also teaches us these things. We have done many camps on that. From a special camps have been done on that to save water in many different ways. And also, sir, we also know that there is very less drinking water in our whole world. The clean water, I say, which is eligible for drinking. So I think so we should apply those ways to conserve water, and as my elder said that it is a way of sustainable development, so we should do that also. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Now we can see so many areas where so many of the students got affected with fluoride. Okay, so because of that, their kidneys got damaged and they are going for the dialysis. So many effects that are occurring only mainly because of the source of the fluoride. Can anyone can tell how can you reduce the fluoride in such areas? Because our area in Andhra Pradesh, like A Konduru village, so many students got affected with that fluoride, and the government is planning to get the pipeline from the long distance towards that area. It takes some time. In the meanwhile, anyone can give some suggestions. Certainly, we'll incorporate, we'll give the information to the respective villages. Anyone? How can you reduce the fluoride content from water? What are the different methods that we can adopt? That should be at very low cost because everyone may not afford filtration plants, completely filtration long. Because for food we need water, drinking we need water. So water is the main source of our life. So certainly we should have a pure water and drinking water. So anyone, yes, come on. How can you reduce? Yes.
So first thing we can do is reverse osmosis test. I think it is a private test we can do in our tanks, which is allocated in every house. I think so. So we can test our water tanks and we should treat it with chemicals, and we should clean it in every 6 or 3 months. depending on the usage of the water. And so second thing, we should have a particular sort of hygiene in public places. We can. Yes, thank you. We can. So can I repeat?
Yeah.
So first thing we can do is reverse osmosis test. I repeat.
Okay, 1 second.
Yes, sir.
See, those village people cannot afford
Yes.
RO plants.
Yes, I have tried and even the traditional.
Okay, continue then.
First thing, yes.
Okay.
So, if not RO plants, sir, we can also boil the water because boiling the water reduces many chemicals many harmful chemicals in the water. So we can use that also for drinking purpose as well as for other purposes also. And sir, if also not the if there are, because sir, there are many villages which do not have but proper cylinder and LPG connections also. So we can also, sir, there are, sir, there is one chemical, I'm just forgetting the name. If not chemical, sorry, sir, I'm not clear. But there is one chemical we can add in our daily usage water, sir. Not for drinking purpose, but sir, for another purposes. Yes, ma'am. Aluminum oxide. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Aluminum oxide. And so for city purposes, we can use reverse osmosis test, and we should clean our tanks, especially many cases are from college and schools also. So there should be a proper invigilation on colleges, universities, water tanks, sir, because it's very much unhygienic. So I think so that should be waste. And thank you, sir.
Any other?
Hello, sir. So, as you asked about the diseases, has been coming from that. Sir, you're particularly going to ask about the villages side. But in the upcoming news, we have already noticed that in the Indore, the cleanest city of India, also they were facing the major issue of like water. They were not getting the proper water there. Although they were boiling it, yet they were not provided that. I'm not going to answer that for the cities. I'm going for the villages side. So the villages, we can follow some simple steps. The simple step is like that there are some gutter side, so we can clean that and make an hygiene places there. And if there is a places of some small types of like gutter is there now, like patches are there, we can fill, and we cannot like don't fill the water like dirty water there. We can remove that water and fill with the like some stones and stands things there, and we can for the villages we can do this, and like this we can face that kind of disease from villages people. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, any other? Okay, I think you need something. Yes. So I thank the dignitaries and the organizers for giving me the great opportunity to speak a few words on this occasion. Thank you so much.
हेलो, चलिए मैं आप सबों से कुछ बातें कर लूँ। आपकी बातें करूँ, अच्छा लगेगा? अपने बारे में सुनने, आपके द्वारा अगर मैं सुनूं, तो हम सबको अच्छा लगेगा। सभी को पता है कि आप सब NSS के सक्रिय स्वयंसेवक हैं, तभी आप इस कार्यक्रम तक पहुंच पाए हैं। मैं ज्यादा आपकी बखान नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन आपके मुंह से मैं सुनना चाहूंगा कि अभी बताएं, जैसा कि हमने आप सबों से ज्वलंत हमारे तत्कालीन मुद्दाओं पे गंभीर समस्याओं के बारे में चर्चाएं की, आपने अच्छा उसका जवाब दिया और जानकारी रखी। क्या किसी चीज से जानकारी प्राप्त करना हम सबको क्या पहचान, क्या मदद मिलती है किसी चीज की जानकारी से? जरा बताइए। क्या नॉलेज बढ़ता है, नॉलेज बढ़ता है और समस्या का समाधान क्या खुद को और सोसाइटी को भी देते हैं आप? तो मैं तो आपके बारे में, मैंने शुरू में कहा कि आप अपने बारे में बताइए। क्या आपके द्वारा समाज को, आपके समुदाय को, आपके आसपास के लोगों को क्या कुछ फायदे होती है आपके जानकारी से? होती है या सिर्फ इंस्टाग्राम पे फायदे होती है? वहां भी वो भी जरूरी है, बहुत जरूरी है। इंस्टाग्राम पे आप सक्रिय रहते हैं तो हमारे फैमिलीज, हमारे परिवार, हमारे गुरुजन भी आपके गतिविधियों को देखते रहते हैं, आपको लाइक डिसलाइक वहां पे भी करते हैं। तो मैंने शुरू में ही कहा मैं आपके बारे में बोलूं तो अच्छा लगेगा, तो अपने मुंह से ही हम आपसे मैं जानना चाहूंगा। चलिए, आप NSS के माध्यम से किन किन कार्यक्रमों में भाग लेते हैं आप अपने महाविद्यालय में? कोई बताए जरा, कोई और को बताए। जो बोल चुके वो नहीं बोलेंगे, जो पहले बोल चुके वो नहीं बोलेंगे, अन्य कोई साथी बताए हमारे। हाँ जरा बताए। हाँ, और ब्लड डोनेशन क्या आप करते हैं? कितने बार आपने कितने बार किया? जोरदार ताली। देखिए, इन्होंने 2 बार किया। मैंने बोला कि मैं आपके बारे में चर्चा करूंगा। इन्होंने 2 बार ब्लड डोनेशन खुद किए हैं। इससे हमारी जिंदगी भी बची और आपके कॉलेज के अन्य बच्चे भी आपसे प्रेरित हुए और 4 किए। जरा माइक दीजिएगा उनको जो बोल रहे हैं। चलिए, ब्लड डोनेशन। और अभी कौन सा कार्यक्रम हमारे मंत्रालय द्वारा विशेष फोकस, उस पर विशेष ध्यान दी जा रही है? कोई बताएं। नेशनल इंटीग्रेशन ही पुराना है, अभी वर्तमान में जो चल रहा है अभी पुराना हो गया। और बताइए, और बताइए किस पे हमारी सरकार?
विकसित भारत, युवा भारत।
विकसित भारत, इसमें हम जानना, हम थोड़ा कम जानकारी है मुझे कि हम विकसित भारत में हम क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या इसका ये मुझे जानकारी नहीं है। कोई अगर जानकारी है तो बताएं। विकसित भारत में क्या इसका मतलब है? विकसित भारत, विकसित भारत हम लोग युवा भारत, विकसित भारत।
सर, हमारा जो थीम है डेवलपमेंट इंडिया का जो थीम है 2047 का सर, क्योंकि आज की यूथ हम लोग हैं, तो अगर आज हम लोग सतर्क होंगे तो हमारी जो भविष्य होगी वो अच्छा होगा। तो इसलिए हमें जो सरकार हमें मोटिवेशन देती है कि अभी से हम लोग अगर जागे तो हमारा जो इंडिया है, जो एक समय में सोने की चिड़िया कहलाती थी, तो वो आगे आने वाले भविष्य में भी वही सोने की चिड़िया फिर से कहलाएगी।
चलिए, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। क्या विकसित भारत के बारे में मुझे ही सिर्फ जानकारी होनी चाहिए? किन किन लोगों तक ये पहुंचनी चाहिए? कोई एक बताएंगे? जरा माइक पीछे देंगे, जरा माइक पीछे देंगे या कोई? हाँ, किन किन लोगों तक ये विकसित भारत की अवधारणा को जानकारी चाहिए बताइए। जरा एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि पीछे में थोड़ा सा झिझक कम करें, हम आपके बारे में ही यहाँ पे चर्चा कर रहे हैं, किसी दूसरे के बारे में नहीं। ठीक है, आप बताएं।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर, गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल ऑफ यू। सर, मैं मनीषा कुमारी झारखंड से हूँ। सबसे पहले मैं बताना चाहती हूँ विकसित भारत है क्या। विकसित भारत से सरकार का अर्थ ये नहीं है कि इस रो में या फिर इस कमरे में जितने भी बच्चे हैं वो सारा वो अंबानी बन जाए या फिर वो कोई भी अच्छे पोस्ट पे चल जाए। विकसित भारत से यह तात्पर्य है कि इस रो में बैठे प्रथम लाइन से लेकर अंतिम लाइन तक बैठने वाले व्यक्ति को समान रूप से स्वच्छ भोजन, स्वच्छ पर्यावरण और स्वस्थ स्वच्छता मिल सके, ताकि वे अपने जीवन जी सके, तभी जा करके एक भारत और श्रेष्ठ भारत, विकसित भारत कहलाएगा। और आपके दूसरे पूरा करें।
अच्छा, इनको पूरा करने दीजिए, फिर आप भी बोलिएगा। हाँ, ठीक है।
और आपके दूसरी प्रश्न था कि एक भारत, विकसित भारत किनको किनको बताना है। तो महोदय मैं कहना चाहती हूँ, विकसित भारत कोई नारा तो नहीं है कि वो सिर्फ बोलकर वो कानों में सुन जाए। सरकार को और हम सबको मिलकर हर एक कदम से छोटे छोटे कदम मिलाने चाहिए, ताकि जो विकसित भारत का सपना हमारी सरकार देख रही है वे हम भी देख सके, वे ग्राम से लेकर के शहरों तक देख सके, ताकि हमें माइक या फिर किसी नेता या किसी शिक्षक या फिर किसी की भी जरूरत ना हो कि विकसित भारत जैसा शब्द भी हमारे बीच है। थैंक यू।
ओके, धन्यवाद। देखिए, इन्होंने अभी विकसित भारत की एक अवधारणा बताया कि किन किन लोगों तक पहुंचनी चाहिए। तो विकसित भारत में क्या क्या हो सकता है और बेहतर कि हाँ, बताया कि हम प्रथम पंक्ति से लेकर आखिरी पंक्ति तक के लोगों को जानकारी चाहिए। तो मैं एक और शुरुआत में मैंने आपसे बताया था कि ये इसके अंदर और क्या क्या चीजें, क्या क्या सरकार का, इन्होंने अपने शब्दों में चर्चा किया, सरकार के योजनाओं को चाहिए। तो क्या योजनाओं की जानकारी जन जन तक पहुंचाने के कार्यभार आपके कंधों पे है? आप ही सबों के कंधों पे है शायद। मुझे संदेह है, मुझे समझा दीजिए, जोर से दीजिए कि क्या विकसित भारत की जितनी भी विषय वस्तु हैं उसको जागरूक करना, लोगों तक पहुंचाने का जो एक भार हमारे सरकार के द्वारा भरोसामंद, हमें मजबूत कंधों पे हम ले सकते हैं क्या?
हेलो,
क्या जो तो आपके बारे में चर्चा कर रहे हैं, तो आप अपने बारे में बताइए, क्या आप ले सकते हैं?
जी सर, हम तो कर सकते हैं। और विकसित भारत जो है ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ किसी सरकार की परियोजना नहीं है, ये जितने भी भारतीय हैं उन सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। और विकसित भारत कहने से और बोलने से या फिर कहीं नाराबाजी करने से नहीं होगा। हमें अपने प्राचीनता को प्राप्त करना होगा। जैसे कि जब तक स्वदेशी हम नहीं अपनाएंगे तब तक विकसित भारत नहीं हो पाएगा। ठीक, तो यदि हम बस कहते रहे कि विकसित भारत को बनाना है, विकसित भारत को बनाना है, और हम स्वदेशी चीजों पे निर्भर नहीं होंगे और विदेशी चीजों पे, जब जब विदेशी चीजों पे हमारी आत्मनिर्भरता बढ़ती है, तो अभी अभी देखिए टैरिफ लगा था, विदेशी चीजों पे हमारी आत्मनिर्भरता बढ़ी है तो टैरिफ आया है। यदि स्वदेशी रहेगा तो टैरिफ का जैसा कोई डर ही नहीं रहेगा। और जब हम स्वदेशी अपना लेंगे तो पूर्णतः जितना भी भारत के अंदर धन है, जैसे कि चाइना का जो इकोनॉमिक उस समय पहले का मेरे पास डाटा है कि उसका 13 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमिक था, और उसमें से लगभग 8 ट्रिलियन पूरा इकोनॉमी जो भारत देता था, अब 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी उसका चाइना का था, तो उसमें अदर कंट्रीज में थी। यानी कि 8 ट्रिलियन जो भारत से जा रहा है वो यदि भारत में रहता है तो भारत आज विश्व की सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था रहती। और विकसित भारत यदि तभी संभव है जब जन जन मतलब एक एक व्यक्ति अपना कर्तव्य समझेगा। ये नहीं जैसे कि अब्राहम लिंकन कहते थे कि आपने देश के लिए, देश ने आपके लिए क्या किया ये मत कहो, आपने अपने देश के लिए क्या किया है ये सोचो। और जब यह अवधारणा हमारे अंदर आएगी तब विकसित भारत हो पाएगा और भारत पुनः अपने विश्व गुरु।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। विकसित भारत में अभी उनके शब्दों में मैं थोड़ा सा समझने का कोशिश की कि मुझे आत्मनिर्भर होने की आवश्यकता है, जरूरत है। तो हम आत्मनिर्भर कब तक होंगे? जब तक मुझे संपूर्ण विषयों की जानकारी सटीक और सजग भाव से प्राप्त हो। क्या हम सही बोल रहे हैं? ठीक है
सर।
NSS के लिए बनवा दूंगी ना। बोले सर, बोले ना।
हेलो हेलो, क्या इन 3 दिनों में आप लोग मुझे पहचान पाए हैं? कोई बताएं? आई एम प्रोग्राम ऑफिसर ऑफ दिस कॉलेज एंड आल्सो RRC कोऑर्डिनेटर एंड सेहत केंद्र आल्सो। तो जैसा कि मैं सुन रहा हूँ 2 दिनों से विकसित भारत पर ही हम लोग का फोकस है, तो एज ए वॉलंटियर या एज ए स्टूडेंट आप कैसे विकसित कर पाएंगे, ये हमें जब कोई ब्रीफ होके बताएं। माइक दो, कोई एक बताएंगे, एक उधर से एक इधर से।
सर, विकसित भारत की बात होने जा रही है, तो मैं अपनी बिल्कुल कम शब्दों में विकसित भारत की आपको उदाहरण
तो एज ए वॉलंटियर या एज ए स्टूडेंट आप कैसे करेंगे, ये हमें बताएं।
जी सर, वही बता सर, कैसे करेंगे उससे पहले आता है कि ये होना कैसे है, वो बताना चाहूंगा मैं आपको अपने अनुसार। जैसे कि सर, हमारे भारत के अंदर अगर विकसित भारत की हम बात करते तो मैं जब तक इसको विकसित भारत नहीं मानता, जब तक हमारे यहाँ जब बड़े बड़े पदों पे बैठे अधिकारियों के लिए हम 30-30, 45-45 सिक्योरिटी गार्ड की व्यवस्था कर सकते, लेकिन गांव में बच्चों को पढ़ाने के लिए 45 बच्चों पे शिक्षक की व्यवस्था नहीं कर सकते। ऐसे भारत को मैं विकसित भारत नहीं मानता। तो सबसे पहले हमें शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में विकास करना चाहिए। चीन में प्रांत में सर एक बच्चे के लिए उन्होंने अपने बंद करे हुए रेलवे स्टेशन को वापस चालू करवा दिया। ऐसे जब तक हमारा देश नहीं बन सकता, एक एक बच्चे की शिक्षा की जिम्मेदारी एक युवा नागरिक जब तक नहीं ले सकता, जब तक सरकार नहीं ले सकती, जब तक मैं इसे विकसित भारत नहीं मानता। तो विकसित भारत के लिए अगर रीढ़ की हड्डी का काम कोई करती है तो वो है हमारी शिक्षा व्यवस्था। तो सर्वप्रथम हमें हमारी शिक्षा व्यवस्था ही सुधारनी चाहिए। शिक्षा व्यवस्था जब संभलेगी, जब सुधरेगी, जब भी जाके हम देशों के साथ व्यापार कर पाएंगे और हम एक विकसित भारत की जो है वो उस चीज को प्राप्त कर पाएंगे। तो सबसे पहले हमारी शिक्षा व्यवस्था है।
चलिए, बहुत अच्छा। ये देखिए, ये मेरे क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं है, तो जस्ट 1 मिनट इनको मैं समझा दूं। ये मेरे क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं है, सरकार क्या कर रही है, ये सरकार आउट ऑफ वे जाके काम कर रही है, हम देख रहे हैं। लेकिन एज ए वॉलंटियर एज ए हमें क्या करना है, ये मेरा क्वेश्चन था। सरकार को क्या करना है, सरकार कर रही है। ओके
सर, ऐसे मैंने कहा था शिक्षा एजुकेशन सिस्टम पे हम ध्यान देना चाहिए एज ए वॉलंटियर।
एजुकेशन सिस्टम NEP आ गया है। NEP में आप देख रहे हैं, पहले क्या था, हम लोग पढ़ते थे और जब नौकरी मिलती थी तो जाके ट्रेनिंग करते थे वहां पे। अब क्या है, आपको यहीं पे ट्रेनिंग देने की बात हो रही है।
नहीं सर, NEP तो वेरी गुड सर, बट सर मैं ये कह रहा हूँ NEP हमें हर व्यक्ति
नहीं, सुन लीजिए, मैं जो कह रहा हूँ उसका अडॉप्ट कीजिए और अपना आपको सुधार लीजिए। मैं जस्ट कह रहा हूँ एज ए स्टूडेंट, एज ए वॉलंटियर आपको ये करनी है कि आप स्टूडेंट हैं और अपने घर से बाहर आकर अपने शहर में पढ़ रहे हैं, आपको पढ़ाई ही करनी है, इसके अलावा आपको और कुछ नहीं सोचनी है। और एज ए वॉलंटियर आप सोशल वर्क करें, इसके अलावा सरकार क्या करे आपको ध्यान नहीं देनी है। बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट हैं, यूनियन के लीडर हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है, लीडर का NSS देती है, लेकिन उसको अटेंड करने के लिए हम अपनी बात को नहीं भूल जाए कि हमें पहला काम क्या करना है, पढ़ाई करनी है। कुछ चीज को आप कभी मत भूलिए। एज ए स्टूडेंट, यही मेरा क्वेश्चन था, एज ए स्टूडेंट एज ए वॉलंटियर आप क्या कर सकते हैं। एज ए टीचर मेरा काम है टीचिंग एंड रिसर्च, अगर उसको हम नहीं निभाएंगे तो बच्चों को क्या पढ़ाएंगे, समझ लीजिए।
जय सर, टीम मध्य प्रदेश से नीरज गुजर। मान्यवर, मुझे लगता है कि विकसित भारत का सपना एक आर्थिक या तकनीकी विकास तक सीमित नहीं है, अभी तो एक ऐसे राष्ट्र की परिकल्पना करना है जहां हर व्यक्ति को समान अवसर मिले, शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं हर व्यक्ति तक पहुंचे, नवाचार को खुला आसमान मिले। और यह कार्य केवल सरकार का नहीं, हम जैसे युवाओं का कार्य है। हर युवा बढ़ चढ़कर उसमें हिस्सा ले और वासुदेव कुटुंबकम के भाव से विकसित भारत 2047 का निर्माण करे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार सर। सर मैं संदीप दास हूँ, मैं वेस्ट बंगाल का। विकसित भारत एक हमारा केंद्र सरकार का एक बहुत बड़ी उद्योग है कि विकसित, हमको पहले समझना है विकसित क्या है। विकसित ये है, स्वामी विवेकानंद बोला है कि आप पढ़ाई लिखाई करो, आप लोग फुटबॉल खेलो तो बहुत अच्छा होगा आपका शरीर के लिए। तो विकसित हमको क्या करना है, आपका स्टूडेंट हमको क्या कहना है,
आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू। विकसित की बात हो रही, 2 कंट्री, पूरे वर्ल्ड में जितने भी कंट्रीज है 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया हुआ है, एक विकासशील एक विकसित। तो जो यूरोपियन कंट्री है, अमेरिका, वो विकसित है, तो उनका जो पर कैपिटा इनकम है उनका जो जीडीपी है वो हमें अटेंड करनी है इंडिया का, तो इंडिया विकसित हो जाएगा। समझ गए? विवेकानंद यहाँ नहीं आते हैं। विवेकानंद के जो आइडियोलॉजी है उसको हम लोग मानते हैं, उसको रात पे चल करके माने जाएंगे, लेकिन यह जो विकसित भारत की बात है ये पर कैपिटा इनकम जीडीपी से रिलेटेड है। आप इकोनॉमिक्स को पढ़िए, समझ जाएंगे कि विकसित भारत किसको कहा जा रहा है। मतलब हम बहुत विकासशील आखिर कब तक, है ना? तो यही मोदी जी का सपना है कि अब विकासशील हम नहीं रहना चाहते, हम विकसित बनेंगे, अमेरिका हम बनेंगे। समझ गए? चलिए अब सर कंक्लूड करेंगे सेशन को।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब ज्यादा समय नहीं लेंगे कि आप लोग का जो आगे का कार्यक्रम के अनुसार है 6 बजे से आप
एक्सक्यूज मी गाइस, लिसन एवरीवन, अभी आप लोगों को टी ब्रेक मिलेगा, ठीक है? उसके बाद आप लोगों को 6:30 बजे से कल्चरल है, तो प्लीज आप लोग थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी टी ब्रेक करके कल्चरल के लिए रेडी हो जाइए। थोड़ा सेशन लंबा चला गया बट ठीक है।
मैडम साढ़े बच्चे लोग कुछ टीचर